I bet you have a nice, shiny new list of New Year's resolutions, and you're all ready to start. You've got really great stuff on there like be nicer to people, eat more vegetables, start doing yoga, and have a devotional every morning. These are awesome goals, but how do you actually make them happen? How about you try a habit challenge? A habit challenge is something that's going to take all of these good ideas and turn them into real things you do every day. Have you heard of 75 Hard? 75 Hard was a challenge created to help people reach their health and fitness goals by doing intense stuff for 75 days, no misses. I'm not asking you to go all intense, but challenging yourself to do something every day without missing is going to change your relationship with whatever it is you want to improve in a fundamental way. I actually did this last year. Last year, I created my own 75 Hard, but with spiritual habits. So I wanted to read scripture every day, pray every day, serve every day, walk every day, meditate every day, and read a good book every single day. And I did that every day for 75 days. It was a big challenge. I ended back in October, and you know what? I am exponentially better at doing all of those things than I was before I was doing the challenge. All of those things I challenged myself to do are now habits I have that I do every day or almost every day. So why does this work? Challenges are different than goals in that they have end dates. This is a lot easier on your brain. When you set a goal, your brain doesn't like ambiguity. It feels big and scary. I have to eat vegetables every day for the rest of my life. I don't even like vegetables. With a challenge, there is an end date. Your brain can breathe a sigh of relief. Of course, you do want to do these habits every day for the rest of forever, but you're tricking your brain into thinking that it only has to make this sacrifice for a short time. But by the end of the challenge, it's become part of who you are. And you don't actually want to stop. See, the challenge made you do something you thought you could never do. Because when it comes to starting habits, the hardest part is starting. You have to figure out a way to trick yourself into starting because continuing on with something is a lot less hard to do. The next part that is super helpful about having a challenge is the daily nature of it. Maybe you have a goal to go on a long run 3 days a week, but it's hard for your brain to start something if there's some ambiguity about when it's going to be. Instead, try doing 10 short runs every day. Having the consistency of doing it daily, even if it's scaled back, is going to help you put the habit in place and help you figure out where in your schedule it fits best. With the scaled back version and a challenge to not miss a day, you're going to end up doing your runs at all different points of your day. And it's ultimately going to help you figure out how to make it work for you long term. But when it comes to challenges, the most important thing is to not make them too hard. Challenges that are too hard are going to make you fail, and then you're not going to be motivated to try and do another challenge. So don't try to do all your New Year's habits in the same challenge. Don't try to do a challenge where you completely overhaul your life. The habits you add should be maybe things that you already have some touch points on. The goal is to just challenge yourself to do something that's just a little bit harder than you're already doing. So for my 75-day challenge, I was already in the habit of praying and reading scriptures and going on walks, but I struggled with doing them every single day. So the habit to do them daily was just a little bit harder than what I was already doing. For habits that are completely new, you might want to try it as a monthly goal instead. I talk about monthly goals in a previous video, so be sure to check out that next. But sometimes the habit is simple enough, you can still include it in a habit challenge. In my most recent challenge, I was completely out of the habit of washing my face before bed and saying a kneeling prayer at night. So I added it to my monthly challenge, and it was just the thing to get me back in the habit again. In my 75-day challenge, I tackled 6 habits at once. I don't think I will ever do that again. That's too many habits to try and change at once. Less is more when you're trying to do a daily challenge. You could even try just doing 1, or I would go maybe up to the most 5, because the goal is you want to complete it. You want to actually be able to be successful at this. So don't overwhelm yourself with everything you want to change all at once. And lastly is the amount of time. It might be tempting to try and make a short challenge so you're sure you can complete it, but I might suggest making it longer. I would say at the very least, make it a month, because your ultimate goal is for these habits to last forever. And it takes time for things to become cemented as part of your life. And it takes time to change your mind and to get out of the habit of doing things the old way. If you're wanting to do a challenge that's only 2 weeks or something, you need to make your goal easier. Start down a level from what you're thinking. If your habit is so hard that you can only last 2 weeks, it's too hard of a goal. It's not a goal you're ready for. So go ahead and grab your New Year's resolution list and let's look at it. Are there some habits you want to implement this year? Pick 2 of them and tell yourself, I'm going to start doing these every day for the next 45 days. Then grab a habit tracker app My favorite habit tracker app is actually called Habit. Or get a paper calendar, something where you can record how you're doing. And then just start tracking. It's that simple. It really has been such an awesome thing for me. I've been able to accomplish so many things that I didn't think I'd be able to do, and I've been able to actually start on some of the things that I thought were too difficult for me to actually accomplish in my life. It's really allowed me to feel proud of myself. I've been able to try things I never thought I would try, and I started back up some habits that I have just totally fallen off of. So I know this seems simple. I know you think this is not going to make a big difference, and doing a challenge for 30 or 50 or 75 days is not going to have a huge impact on my life, but it really does. I know you have things you want to do differently, and this is a perfect tool to help you just start small. I'll be starting a habit challenge here soon, so be sure to check back and follow my progress. And I would love it if you would share some of the habits you also are working on, so we can try and help each other. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm so glad you clicked on this video because it means that you want to make some positive changes in your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.